For me, Miss Glamourverse is more than a pageant. I want it to be a platform where people learn to choose positivity, creativity, and support for one another. In a competitive environment, negativity can easily bring us down, but I want everyone to remember that their worth is never defined by criticism, scores, or the outcome of a competition. I want Miss Glamourverse to inspire everyone to keep creating, keep improving, and keep believing in themselves. More importantly, I want our community to uplift one another instead of pulling each other down. The legacy I hope to leave is simple. I want every person who becomes part of Miss Glamourverse to leave feeling more confident, more inspired, and more willing to uplift others. If we can create a community where people choose kindness over negativity and creativity over limitations, then the crown becomes more than a title. It becomes a symbol of the positive impact we create together.
Every pageant and every event will have its ups and downs. For Miss Glamourverse, one of the biggest challenges has not been organizing the competition itself, but dealing with people who questioned our integrity. We have been accused of favoring certain houses and of personally deciding who wins. The truth is simple. The winners are decided solely by the judges. What made it harder was hearing these accusations from people whose talent we once believed in and supported. There were even instances where people who initially approached us later turned around and criticized others and accused us of favoritism. But those experiences taught me one of the most important lessons about leadership. You do not have to answer every accusation, and you do not have to fight every battle. At some point, we decided to stop explaining ourselves to people who had already chosen what they wanted to believe. We chose to stay in our lane. We chose to focus on the people who are here to create, compete, inspire, and enjoy the experience. Because at the end of the day, Miss Glamourverse was never created to feed negativity. It was created to showcase creativity. People will always have opinions. People will not always accept defeat. But how they respond to those things is their responsibility, not ours. We refuse to let someone else's negativity define what we have built. Leadership taught me that sometimes the strongest response is not an argument. It is consistency. It is continuing to build. It is continuing to uplift others. And it is allowing your work, your values, and your purpose to speak louder than the noise. As long as there are people who want to express their creativity and support one another, Miss Glamourverse will continue to have a purpose. And that is the lane we choose to stay in. If I could speak to every future Miss Glamourverse contestant before they step onto the stage, I would tell them this: do not measure your worth by whether you leave with a crown. A crown is a symbol. It does not define your beauty, your talent, or your value as a person. You might win the title, but the real question is what you do with the person you become after the competition. There will be moments when you are celebrated, and there will be moments when you are questioned. There will be victories, disappointments, criticism, and rejection. Do not allow any of them to break you. Let every experience make you stronger, wiser, and more confident. And never let competition turn you against the people beside you. Someone else's success is not your failure. Their moment does not take away from yours. Celebrate them, support them, uplift them. I want every contestant to remember why they started. Be creative, be fearless, be authentic. Give people something to remember, not because you were the most beautiful person in the room, but because you brought something that only you could bring. Because the crown eventually comes off, the title eventually ends, the applause eventually fades. But your character remains, your creativity remains, the people you inspired remain. So, if you earn the crown, wear it with purpose. If you do not, walk away with your head held high. Because winning a crown makes you a title holder, but earning the respect, love, and inspiration of the people around you makes you a true Miss Glamourverse.